We're just making sure we can hear everybody on there. You can hear us fine, right? Or not?
Sounds like it's
Okay. Okay, looks I don't think Commissioner Maryboy may not make it back. He had a hard time staying on during a work session, and so he may not make it. He had a hard time connecting. Just, it's probably just you and Commissioner Adams.
I was cutting my old cards.
He's cutting your poker cards. All right, looks like we're ready to begin. It's just you two.
Sound system, speaker.
Hold on. You can hear us, right?
The speaker is not here.
Is it choppy and breaking up? How's that? Is that better? Or is it still choppy on your side of it?
Echo.
There's an echo?
Echo. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's see if we can get rid of the echo. So if you turn down your volume on in here, keep the video high. See if that'll work. Just the microphone volume. Yeah. And then your video higher. That's how we had it last time. Okay, how's that? Is that less of an echo right there? Or did it get worse?
About the same.
About the same, huh? Okay, hold on. We've got our IT guy working on it as well. Okay, how's that? Is it getting better? Everybody else, okay. So I've got a couple other people looking at it as well to see if they've got an echo on their side of it. Should have stopped by now. Is it still echoey to you? Pinot. How's that? Is that better? We got to make sure we talk so everybody can hear whether or not there's an echo. Okay, let's. Hi, Darlene. How are you doing? Can you hear an echo, Darlene, on your side of it?
Still the same echoing.
Okay, still the same echo. Okay, how's that? Is that better? Did you adjust it? That microphone? Nothing. Still the same. All right. And it didn't echo in the work session. Let me see here.
fucking
What do you think, Trey? Can you hear the echo on your side of it, Trey? He's not hearing it on his side. Or if it's just on the Zoom. How's that, Commissioner Gray Eyes? Can you hear now? I know he's not there. How's that? Is that better?
little bit better.
Okay, we made some adjustments to the microphone and everything, so you should be able to hear it. Shouldn't have as much reverb as last time. Can you hear that a little bit better? Enough to proceed with the meeting? Let me see. Commissioner Maryboy, are you there? How's that, Commissioner Maryboy? Can you hear us? Uh, How's that, Commissioner Gray Eyes? Is that better? No, still the same for you. Okay. We're not hearing it on our side of it. And they've logged in. Let me see if I can get another on. Commissioner Maryboy, are you there? That's Commissioner Maryboy right there.
Can you hear us now?
Okay, how's that? Does that work any better? We're just making
Yeah,
not better.
still the same.
Still the same. Still the same echo.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hey, Commissioner Maryboy, can you hear us?
I can just barely hear you, Mac. I don't know what you're saying. It's all staticky. It sounds like you're in USS Enterprise.
I don't know. A lot of people wouldn't know that reference anymore. How's that? Is that better? You should be able to hear me. And let's see. Okay, we've got a couple other people logged in. See if that'll help with the echo. Can you hear me better, Commissioner Maryboy, on your end? Commissioner Gray is having an echo on his. Says so. Anne is on. It sounds like a robot. Okay, let me go low bandwidth on here and see if that clears it up. Okay, has that cleared it up, Commissioner Gray Eyes?
You're very staticky on this
Well-
side, Mac.
Very static.
Yeah, you are.
Sounds like a robot. That's what I'm hearing. Is it sounds like a robot, Trey? We got our IT guy on it. So you can hear it on your end as well? Okay. I wonder if I disconnect and come back on? Think it'll work? It might. Okay, we're going to disconnect so everybody watch and just log right back on. We'll see if that clears it up. Reboot type thing. So I'm going to kick you all out. See you back here in a second. Okay, John David, get us back on there. Here, hold on. Stop wiggling. We're done. We're done. Was it? Well done. Where are you at? John David, what's going on? Close that one. Quit wiggling. You got it? Be this hard. We had work session up and working fine. That's weird. The agenda? I think it's here still. Do you got it? Perfect. Okay, here we go. Okay, how's that? Did that fix it, you guys? I'm hoping that fixed it. Should be able to hear everything fine. Nicole, it's your turn to present. We can't hear you on your mic, Nicole. Shows that you have a camera but no mic. Go ahead, present anytime. No, I'm just kidding. It's not your turn. She's like, what? She's really scrambling. Commissioner Maryboy, how's that? Can you hear us fine? You're on mute as well. Here comes Trey.
Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Nicole. Perfect. We're just trying to get we're just trying to get everything started here.
I'm having two different feedbacks going on, so I'm trying to.
Okay, it might be us. Trey, can you hear that? Is there two different feedbacks still? How about that, Nicole? Can you still hear us?
Maybe I'm logged into the previous.
Can you hear?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me? How about that? Can you hear me now? I can hear you. Does it still have a double echo? It may be our side of it, not yours.
I can hear you. I can hear you twice. I can hear like a.
Okay.
Should I log out and come back in?
No, it's not you. Literally, it's us on here.
Okay.
So whatever we did between work session and commission meeting has messed us up. How's that, Trey? Did it? We're just trying to get everything situated where it doesn't have an echo on your guys' side of it. Our previous meeting didn't have an echo.
I think I had two meetings open, and maybe. Can you hear me right now?
I can hear you fine. Can you hear us okay? Are we still echoing?
There hasn't been a double feedback, so
okay.
I think I'm good.
Okay, good. Trey, how about?
Okay.
Can you hear double echo on your side?
Mac, I'm good. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfect.
Okay. No, there's no double echo on or the Zoom meeting. I've
Okay.
got both going.
All right. 26 minutes into it. I'm waiting for Commissioner Maryboy and Commissioner Gray Eyes to come back in. I wonder. I can't hear. I'm good here. Boxes and everything. Where are they at?
You lost Nicole.
No, Nicole's still there. I just muted her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. People hear us?
What's that? Oh, there he is. Perfect. Now we can go get this done with.
There's Willie.
Okay, how's that, Commissioner Gray Eyes? Can you hear that a lot better?
On mute.
You're on mute as well. There you go.
Sounds good.
Okay, let's do it. Sorry about that. Sorry about the technical issues. We've got Trey, our IT guy, working on it, as well as the vendor support out of Salt Lake City working behind the scenes as well, trying to make sure we have everything up and going. And so we appreciate their help. All right, 11:30. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry we're a little late.
All right.
Do you want me to present?
No.
Commission,
Not yet. No. Sorry, Nicole. No, we're just getting
We're
started.
not.
So we're
Okay.
not even there yet.
We'll go ahead and call the meeting to order at this time. Time is 11:31.
Correct. 11:30, 11:31.
We'll go ahead and I can't see the agenda. If you can you
There you go.
there you go. Roll calls. I believe everybody is present. Commissioner Adams, Commissioner Maryboy, and myself. So full quorum. Agenda approval.
Okay, so for today's
Go ahead.
Okay.
Read the agenda.
Absolutely. Thank you, Commissioner. So on today's agenda, under consent agenda items, you've got the May 18th, 2021 Commission meeting minutes for approval, ratification of a small purchase order to train for $3,500 for public safety HVAC components, the ratification of the 2021 U.S. Department of Treasury Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund Terms and Conditions Agreement, ratification of the Forest Service Agreement to chip seal the Devil's Canyon Campground and Devil's Canyon Road for $62,825. Under our recognition, presentations, and informational items, we don't have anything under there. Let me scroll down and get to the next page for you. So under the business action items, let me make sure if this is right and I'm not missing anything like I did last time. So consideration and approval of the San Juan County updated library system strategic plan for 2021 through 2023. This is under business action items. You've got the second memorandum of understanding for San Juan co-working space with Southeastern Utah Association of Local Governments for the American Express grant funds. Item 7, you've got consideration and approval of the Beehive Library Consortium ARPA federal grant. Number 8, consideration and approval of the memorandum of understanding for San Juan County and Utah Education Telehealth Network for Internet Services renewal. Item number 9, consideration and approval of a lease for county property located at 344 West 800 North in Blanding, Utah for the Utah State University Blanding's Health Profession Program. Number 10, consideration and approval of the 2021 property tax sale. The final item on your agenda for today under business action items is number 11, a resolution supporting the efforts of the Utah Navajo Health System, UNHS, encouraging the Navajo Nation Land Department to enter into a lease with UNHS for a communications tower to be located on Navajo Mountain for full coverage digital access for emergency healthcare and educational response. And that, Commissioners, is your agenda for today.
Thank you, Mr. McDonald. A motion would be fine.
You want a motion?
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
The second, Mr. Adam move.
Commissioner Maryboy is not on, by the way. He was having trouble connecting.
I'll go ahead and second it. And call for the vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed by nay. There being none. 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Motion passed. Now go back to top of the list.
Okay, the next item on the agenda is public comments. If there are any public comments, we'll allow for 3 minutes each for the time limit for each person wishing to make a comment. If you want to do so, go ahead and raise your hand in the chat box. Or if you're on video as well, you can go ahead and raise your hand or motion, and we'll accept those public comments when we recognize you. With that, anybody wishing to make a public comment? I'm not seeing a lot of people here today. Okay, so go ahead and unmute yourself, but final call for any public questions, comments. Okay, Commissioner, it looks like there's no public comments for today. So our next
Okay.
next on the agenda is your consent agenda. So on your consent agenda, all these would be approved at one time. What you have on here is under item 1, May 18th, 2021 commission meeting minute approval. Number 2, ratification of a small purchase order to Train for $3,500 for public safety HVAC components. We had little cooling coil that had gone out on that system. We had reached out to a vendor who told us it was 14 weeks in order to get that, which scared us. This kind of controls that HVAC system in our corrections, and so we were able to find a company that is on state contract that would be able to get this to us a lot quicker. They would build it themselves. That price was that $3,500. The next one on the consent agenda is the ratification of the 2021 U.S. Department of Treasury Coronavirus State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund terms and condition. We talked about this a little bit more extensively in our work session meeting, but the county is going to be receiving during this first allotment of funds that $2,973,400 for the American Rescue Plan Act. This agreement here is basically approving and authorizing and accepting the terms and conditions from the U.S. Treasury for the release of those funds. And so we went ahead and applied for the release of those funds to have those funds transferred to our account. With that, it just basically requires us to comply with the restrictions that the U.S. Department of Treasury places on those funds, as well as the reporting of the expenditure and final use of those funds during that period of time up until 2026 is kind of the overall timeline. Then you have ratification. I have a Forest Service agreement to chip seal the Devil's Canyon Campground and Devil's Canyon Road. This is where the Forest Service paid us to chip seal. We were already out there doing work on the county's road. And the Forest Service, they wanted it done to their areas as well, and they paid us to do that in the tune of $62,825 for that service. And so we had gone ahead and done that as well. Other than that, that is your consent agenda items for approval.
Motion to approve the consent agenda items 1 through 4.
I just barely showed up, and I will second that.
Okay. Motion made by Mr. Adams, second by Ms. Maryboy to consider approval of what accepting 1 through 4. Question. You had email or text us last 2 weeks or something like that regarding health professional to attend training. Those are what happened. You stated that these will be ratified also.
So in that email, I had stated that we would, instead of, it's been in our policy in the past to approve employee travel out of state. And in that email, I had mentioned that I didn't feel comfortable about bringing that to a public meeting to approve individual employees traveling out of state. What I worry about is, if somebody was being stalked by a stalker, we just release all of that information in a public forum, in a public meeting. I didn't feel comfortable with that. And so in that email, I had just asked for your approvals through email, just more of it's an administrative function, not necessarily a legislative function. You've already approved the funds in their budgets when you approve their budget. And so that way I felt it's more of an administrative item. Just wanted to make sure you're aware. But I would strongly encourage and recommend that we do not approve those in a public forum.
Okay. With that, any more discussion? If not, call for the question. All those in favor say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. I didn't vote. I probably will go ahead and agree with the two gentlemen. So 3 in favor, 0 opposed. The motion passed. Next.
Okay, the next item on your agenda under business action is the San Juan County updated library system strategic plan for 2021 through 2023. We do have Nicole Perkins, our library director, online. Go ahead, and Nicole, take it away. Appreciate you being here.
Hi, thank you. So this is just an update that we need to do on our strategic plan every few years to satisfy the requirements of the state library. And I believe also that the commissioners have been asking for something updated that was approved under the newer commissioners. Basically, we just made some changes to, well, I'll give you what it says. The updated strategic plan puts an emphasis on strengthening the library system's future through sound fiscal practices, expanding community outreach programming, and continued searching out and applying for applicable grant and funding opportunities so as to assist in both of those stated goals and all of the stated goals actually. The fiscal impact has the potential to improve the fiscal soundness of our library system so as to be prepared for major repairs and possible future capital improvements. There's a real concern with both myself and the library assistant and the board that we need to be building on our, I'm not sure what the technical term is, our savings or our capital improvement savings. I don't, we're allowed to roll over funds into the library fund from year to year. And those have been depleted severely over the last, 10 years or so. And the trend was just continuing that way. And if we had major repairs, we may not be in a healthy enough situation to take care of those repairs without being a burden on the rest of the county's funds. And we don't want to do that. We also would like to look to the future, and it'll be some time, but look to the future to see if, there's a need to expand or to perhaps put a facility in one of our far corners of our county, either south or northern parts, that those funds would be there to do that. Our goals, there are 6 main goals. I'll go just through those, and then if you have questions other than that, we can go into it deeper. Goal 1 is to strengthen the library system's future through sound fiscal practices. Goal 2 is to increase and enhance virtual presence where needed. Goal 3 is to expand community outreach programming. Goal 4 is to improve library trustee skills. And Goal 5, develop and utilize plan for spending of grant monies. And Goal 6 is to develop and utilize plan for technology development. And if you have any other questions, we can go into it deeper, or if you feel like that's enough, either way. I can go either way, whichever direction the commissioners want to go.
Any,
Mr. Chair.
Mr. Maryboy,
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion for approval on item 5.
okay. Motion made by Mr. Maryboy to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Mr. Adams. Discussion, if there's any. Question, comments, recommendation? There is none, so all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye also. Opposed, nay? Motion passed, 3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Next, thank you very much.
Okay, the next item on your agenda is the second memorandum of understanding for San Juan co-working space with Southeastern Association of Local Governments for the American Express grant funds. I don't see Michaela online. Nicole, can you address this one, or do you want me to?
Sorry, I'm not as familiar with this as she is, but I do know that she's been working to get funding through, it's a grant that will help cover the costs of the construction going on in the Monticello building in the basement, where they are reconstructing that to utilize a big portion of that space for a co-working business area. And these funds will, there's no obligation on our end to meet or match the funds. So it's basically American Express giving this amount to San Juan County Library System to help them finish this project. And I wish I could give more detail than that. Sorry, I wasn't prepared to present on this, and I think she was planning on being here because I just spoke to her not too long ago. So
It could be that
yeah,
connectivity issue that we're all
it could be.
struggling through. So part of it kind of
They are specific in what the money can be spent for. I do know that it has to be very specific on what it's spent for, and so she's been really good to go through and budget that out. And I think she's been working quite a bit with Mac, I believe.
Yes, yeah.
On this, and with Stuart. So
yeah. So we have gone through on this. This is just a modification of the terms. Grant amount is still $5,000 that'll aid in purchasing of. So as construction continues, and as we near the end, we're anticipating a completion here in mid-July, end of July. Walls are up, and they're starting to work on finishing touches, carpet, and that's all been ordered for the space. Now it's getting enough funds available so that we can actually furnish it, conference room tables, communication devices with
Chair.
computer, Wi-Fi. That's what that one's about.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Barryboy.
considering the memorandum of agreement between the county and the library, I would ask that the presenter to get together with the administrator and figure out the costs. And I wish there was one being developed in Bluff, but maybe after this one's done, I would consider that. So in the meanwhile, I would make motion for approval to have our administrator to sit down with the young lady to R&D it out and pursue with the construction.
I believe that it's all been figured out.
There's
very
a motion.
Oh.
There's a motion made. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Motion second or place. Go ahead. Nicole?
I believe, and Matt can help me with this, but I believe they have sat down and they've figured everything out. And they know exactly how much it's going to cost. It's been a process that's been going on for quite a while. And none of the monies as of now is going to come out of the library or the county funds. It's all either grants from different entities, and also the Monticello City is fronting money for it. So, but yeah, that would be wonderful if we had an opportunity to look into doing something in Bluff, something like this. Our building there is the one we're working out of, is a tiny little building there. It's pretty small, and it belongs to the county, I believe. But that's something, yeah, if that opportunity came. This was a recommendation to do this in Monticello because they already have the existing structure in the basement. And so the cost would be minimal. And it was Natalie Randall, I believe, that really got this going and found the grant and has been working with Michaela until she left. And then Stuart, I can't think of his last name. Smith, no, Stuart, yes, has been working with Michaela pretty close, and Mac as well. But I believe everything has been mapped out pretty close as to the cost. And they've been very, very careful about following those, being very frugal and following those guidelines. I just visited it about a week ago, and it's going right along as planned, and it's really going to be an added asset to the area. But certainly we would be open to something like that if it came open and it was feasible fiscally to do that in Bluff. But again, now the reason we went with Monticello is the structure was there. It would be minimal cost to improve that basement area. So that's all. Thank you.
So on
Aye.
here, I appreciate the recommendation on Bluff. It's something we will certainly work for. This kind of, as Nicole mentioned, came from a larger economic development grant that we applied for through rural counties, rural co-op grant to establish kind of a co-op network or co-working space network throughout the state, especially in rural counties. We participated in that along with Blanding, but I do, I think, it stands prudent that we look further south, see what else we can do in the future for additional grant funding. So I do appreciate that recommendation, and we'll follow through with that in time. We'll try to seek other funds to continue this forward, because as we have either local citizens that want to participate in this or tourists that come through looking for space, if they need internet or computers, workspace stations, conference rooms, then we'll be able to rent that to them like we're going to be doing here in Monticello. So we do need a motion for the approval of the MOU, and then I'll continue to work forward on the rest of it.
We've got it.
Motion.
Don't we already
I'll
have a
motion
motion?
both.
We have a motion and a second on this item already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, any more comments or questions?
Call for the question.
There be none. No question or question?
He called.
No
for a
question. Aye.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed?
Mr. Chair.
None. Motion carries. 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Yes, Mr. Mayor Boy.
I'm just going to enlighten that the next item, we're just barely coming out of the woods to where developments are starting to happen, and it looks like the library group are really on what needs to happen here. So under this consideration of approval for Beehive Library, it's a federal grant that he's talking about. So I would ask in the support in this one to where I make a motion.
So you just motion for the next item?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Is there a second to it? To approve
Commissioner Adams has stepped away.
Beehive Library Consortium ARPA federal grant.
So Commissioner Adams had stepped away, but yeah, this is for the American Rescue Plan Act, federal funds of $1,888. And so it'll
Yeah.
just be you two voting on it. And so we'd need a second from there.
I'll go ahead and second. Any further question?
Call for the question.
There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. There being none, motion passed. 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Thank you very much. Next,
Chair. Mr. Chair.
yes.
The next item is memorandum of understanding between San Juan County and Utah Education Telehealth. I think this is one of the item that is very needed, and it looks like Nicole is the one that's working with that out of there. She's the library director. I would consider this as the utmost consideration for approval.
Motion? That your motion?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and second presentation. Presenter?
Do you need me to present or give more, or you good?
Just abbreviate it.
So
Statement.
this is just a renewal basically of a contract that we have with UETN for the Monticello Library for them to continue to receive E-rates and internet service with the E-rates applied, which is a 90% discount, which is a huge saving for us. So instead of it being $750 a month, it'll be $75 a month. Which will help us tremendously to continue to be able to have that internet service at the library. And so I've been working with UETN so that we are compliant and can continue to receive these E-rates.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Any question? Comment? Recommendation? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
Move. Mr. Adam is back. I also oppose, nay. 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Motion passed. Next. Thank you very much.
Okay, the next one is consideration and approval of a lease for county property located at 344 West 800 North in Blanding, Utah, with the Utah State University Blanding Health Professional Program. We had entered in this lease back in 2018. It expires here mid-month in June. We'd like to continue that. It's a $0 lease. The period on here would be for the next 5 years. They basically maintain and operate this building for their purposes, for USU's purposes mainly. They have the nursing program, but also additional health professional services that they teach students within our area. And for me, the benefit is they pay for everything for us. We don't have to maintain, or they keep it in good working order, good condition, meeting code in our behalf.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Mr. Adams for approval. Is there a second?
We have lost Commissioner Maryboy.
Okay. I'll go ahead and second. Any more questions? Comments? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye also. Opposed, nay. Motion passed, 2 in favor, 0 opposed. Next.
Welcome back, Commissioner Maryboy. The next item on the agenda is the final item. Let me get my agenda back on here. Let's see, not the final. So item number 10, consideration and approval of the 2021 property tax sale. This is John David.
Good morning, commissioners. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So last each year we have a property tax sale where where properties that are delinquent 5 years on property taxes are sold at an auction. Most years we have the properties are redeemed and the taxes are paid. This year, however, we did have one property that was on the property tax sale. Um, we had three individuals at the sale, and we had one bid on the parcel, which is located in Blanding, for the amount of taxes that were owed, and that amount is $11,426.36. So there was one bid on that piece of property located in Blanding, and so what we do now is just bring that to you for approval of the tax sale.
I'll make a motion to approve the tax sale.
Mr. Adams moved to approve the tax sale. Is there a second to the motion? Did we lose Mr. Maryboy again?
We may have.
I'm here. Second.
Oh, okay. Second by Mr. Maryboy. Any question, comments, recommendation? There be none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye also.
Thank you very
Opposed,
much.
nay? The motion passed, 3 in favor, 0 opposed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. We are now on item number 11, resolution supporting the efforts of the Utah Navajo Health System, UNHS, encouraging the Navajo Nation Land Department to enter into a lease with UNHS for a communication tower to be located on Navajo Mountain for full coverage, digital access for emergency health care and educational response.
Motion.
Motion made by Mr. Maryboy,
Second.
second by Mr. Adams.
Mr. Chair.
Any comment, questions, or recommendation, Mr. Maryboy?
Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask Mr. McDonald to give a courtesy copy to the RDC, so that way they can run with it from that department. I don't know who it's directed to. It's Navajo Nation, but I know that RDC would be one of the committee to oversight that, along with the DOJ.
Okay. Perfect.
Land Department,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
or lease.
Yeah, we can do that. We'll get it also back
Any
to
comment?
UNHS.
I see 2 people from Navajo Mountain listening in. Any comment? Darlene Pino, Jeff McGee.
I'd like to make a comment. This is Jeff Begay.
Go ahead, Mr. McGee.
Thank you. It's very important that this tower be installed on top of Navajo Mountain for a number of reasons. The primary one being health. The health facility we now have is limited on their internet capability. And they have requested a tower to work with in conjunction with the Utah system to bring it into this area for telemedicine and other pertinent medical communication and information sharing. We know it's a difficult process on the Navajo end because Mr. Gray Eyes, myself, and the former president of the Navajo Mountain chapter were placed on a committee to look into this aspect, and we found out that the Department of Justice informed us that there was limited control by the Navajo Mountain community. So therefore, thank you, commissioners, for making this resolution, supporting the resolution, making a motion, seconding it, and we highly encourage the approval of this resolution. And that's all I have to say. Thank you, Commission Chairman and Commissioners. Yeah.
Thank you, Snell. Good to
All right.
have you participate. Thank you. Mr. Maryboy.
Nah, just encouraging.
Okay. Any further questions, comments, or recommendation? There being none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye also. Opposed, nay. There being none. 3 in favor, 0 opposed. The motion carries. Thank you. Next,
Next item on your agenda is commission reports.
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Maryboy.
before I fall off the line again, I'd like to make a little report.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much, sir. Members of the commission and the viewing audience, and as well as those that are listening. Thank you for being a part of our meeting here today. My report is not too long, but I feel that it's very important that I share with all of you. I've went to Salt Lake City last week. I met with the governor's staff. Brian, I believe his name is, and I also went and visited and we sat down and talked about the arrangement of the meeting with the governor. Every time we have Native American caucus or other visit, it seems like the focus is on the Native American as a whole. And we all have different projects, and we all have different needs and wants and what we do. So I enlightened that with the staff, and he was very, very encouraging to do more with the governor. So as we speak, they're looking at some times and dates that either he comes down or we're going to travel back up and to talk about the San Juan County Utah projects on the reservation. And he just wanted to know how many people would be available to show. And I told him that I'm going to get as many people as I can get to get involved in this, and also to showcase some of the projects like our water settlement and our farming plots, some of the road issues, and of course the Bears Ears and other economic areas. So we're going to be doing that. And then later on that afternoon, there was another young lady that wanted to meet with me. Teresa, I forget her last name. She is also with the governor's office, and trying to find her name here. And she's also willing to come down and meet and talk about the water issue. He is the Utah State Engineering, and she gave me her emails and her phone number, and she's going to be also coming down to meet with the folks from the chapter. So we'll be doing that, and I will be looking forward to have the commissioners be involved in this meeting when that time comes. I think support would be great. So other than that, I'll be around, and we're still hammering away on the road issue. And Mac and I were supposed to reconvene with the BIA and NDOT to discuss the other parts of the road issues, and I'm still waiting for that, and hopefully that comes soon so we can take care of that and move on taking care of the roads. So thank you very much, and I will see you next Tuesday.
What's going on next Tuesday? Is there something going on next Tuesday?
I don't know. Maybe
The
barbecue.
next
Commission meeting
the next commissioner meeting.
on the 15th. Okay.
Yeah, I was waiting for the invitation, but never came. I was asked if I would be willing to attend, which was invited, but nevertheless it fell through. Anyway, my report or statement would be regarding roads. Again, I when I was sitting on the Navajo Mountain chapter, as the chapter official, I went ahead and offer a discussion or reassignment of road, or just not the road system, but the mileage switch. And I did submitted that to NDOT. I have not heard anything. And I was wondering that the only way to approach that would be to call another joint meeting to amend the IGA agreement that we signed TSA's bus some time ago. It's taken the mileage on one section of the road in Utah, which would be the responsibility of the Navajo Division of Transportation to reassign that mileage, the distance, to another system in Arizona. So, because as I understand, the road system in Utah will be considered inclusive for Utah equipment to grade. And that hasn't come up for discussion yet. So, Mr. McDonald, maybe you could inquire about it or offer a recommendation. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So that's the only issue that I have. Maybe it's no good anymore. Then what do we do?
Yeah, we need to get it.
if there's going to be change in the IGA, then it's going to take uh, a joint session again.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
I think so too.
Yeah. Okay. And well, COVID-19 is still out there, as I understand. So, do what was recommended for to cover the follow the protocol. Health.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. Thank you.
Yeah, I guess the only report I've got is I'm leaving tomorrow for a CIB training on the other side of the state for a couple of days. And then I have a USIP training the same week as our commission meeting. So I might have to try and attend remotely, or else I'll just have to miss that meeting, second meeting in this month. And that's all I have to report.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay. Motion made by Mr. Maryboy to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Mr. Adams. Any question? There be none. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye also. And opposed, nay. Motion passed, 3 in favor, 0 opposed. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Do we have approval to use your stamp?
Oh, yes.
All right. Thank you. All right. You guys have a good day. Appreciate your help.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Adios.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to figure out what's going on with the technical things. We had everything running right this
For
morning.
some reason.
Yeah. Trey thinks it was Zoom.
Hmm.
So logging off and coming back helped
Was
it.
it?
Yeah. Weird. The that Teresa. Okay. She was at that meeting. I had that watershed meeting on the wetlands there with Dana over. So she does Grand County, and then she came down. She's the state water engineer that's getting. So she kind of a direct report into the governor's office for the adjudication of these water shares. So they're going through and rounding up all these water shares that nobody's using, and that's what they'll use to give the Navajo Nation on that settlement agreement for those shares. And so she had mentioned she's got to come down and have the public hearings. I'm like, you've got a bunch of just farmers that have these water shares, and water shares, like I don't